Hey, I'm Matt at Mr. Maple.
And I'm Tim at Mr. Maple.
And today we're talking about one of our favorite deciduous conifers. Today we're going to be talking about the Dawn Redwood Ogon.
That's right, conifer people. We know you love conifers, been begging for more conifer content, so we thought we'd bring you something a little more interesting on the deciduous side. Being a conifer, a lot of people might not realize that some conifers are actually deciduous. We greatly appreciate you watching this video. Please like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, sign up for our weekly emails on Mr. Maple. That's where you find out about all of our new conifer content coming out each and every single week at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. So you definitely want to sign up and be a part of that.
Hey, we're in early March here. These are just about to leaf out with that bright golden yellow color. But we wanted to get a video out to you before they leafed out, just to remind everyone that Dawn Redwoods are deciduous conifers. So these aren't quite in leaf yet. Very, very shortly, these are going to just be bursting forth with some of the most bright, intense yellow colors you'll see in a plant anywhere, especially a conifer. So these are a great deciduous conifer that's going to provide that splash of golden yellow in the landscape, and then some great oranges to yellows in the fall as well. It gets a pretty good fall color. Now remember, they are deciduous, so they're going to drop leaves in the winter months.
Yeah, this is one you want to give it some sunlight. That really picks up that yellow color on these trees, and that bronze color in the fall is just amazing on Dawn Redwoods. Can really add a lot in that fall landscape and garden. Metasequoia Ogon, sometimes referred to as Golden Dawn, can actually make a nice upright tree about 15 to 20 feet in 10 years. So it's a relatively fast growing deciduous conifer. And this is going to be a tree that really makes a nice upright shape in about 10 years and makes a larger tree that can give you some shade out in the landscape and garden, but is also a tree that can go in a place with good drainage, but also one of those less drainage places that you might not be able to plant a Japanese maple.
Hey, there's a lot of great uses for this tree. Because of its fast growth rate, this makes a great screening plant. You can block out neighbors with this. It's going to get out there. It's going to give you some height right away. Also, because of that accelerated growth rate, this is an excellent tree to provide shade for your other plants. Now, be conscious that Dawn Redwoods will have a more invasive root system than a Japanese maple, but not too invasive. It's one that's going to be a nice sized tree relative to the size plant you have. So this is going to be a very fast grower though. It's something that's going to get out there, provide instant shade in the landscape, so it makes a great shade tree, it makes a great focal point plant, and it also makes a great screening plant. So there's a lot of good uses for this. I'd like to reiterate what Tim said too. This is a great plant for those damper spots that can be a little harder to garden. And this is a great tree to kind of dry up some of those damper spots because they're so fast growing. They're going to pull a lot of that moisture out of the ground, and it's going to provide you with more gardening landscape if you're already kind of hindered a little bit by a spot that may be a little more wet.
So for years, people thought that Metasequoia glyptostroboides, the Dawn Redwood, was extinct. And then they found them in one valley in China. They did a collection and brought some to the United States. Some went to New York. One went to Asheville. Some went to around in Tennessee, some different places. Got scattered around in different places. And then people started making selections all over the world from this one collection. Ogon is one of the golden forms that developed from one of those collections. The species is extremely rare out in the wild, but this makes such a great landscape tree that has actually become so prevalent out in the landscape that there's more probably in landscapes than there are actually in the wild.
For sure. So Dawn Redwoods are probably our most popular deciduous conifer, and Ogon is probably our most popular of those Dawn Redwoods. So we wanted to give you a look at these. These are a large 3-gallon right now. We have these as an XL. We're actually here in mid-March of 2022. So if you're looking at these at a later time frame, they may be slightly larger or slightly smaller. The size we have right now is indicative of that March 2022 time frame. So keep that in mind. But an excellent plant. These are just about to burst forth with color. I think it's one, you can't miss on the garden. It's a great way to provide shade for some other plants as well. And definitely a plant that you don't have to wait on to get big. So it's going to get out there quickly for you.
You can see these things really have some really good size though. I'm about 6 foot, so you see in the container, they've got some fantastic size. And the fact that these things are yellow, they're something that's going to give you a lot of color in the landscape. You know how much I love the yellow colors. We greatly appreciate you all watching this. Make sure you're commenting on these videos and sharing this with your gardening friends. We greatly appreciate you.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.